Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Who Are You podcast. I'm your host, Connor Overbay. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. Always happy to have a new listener. If this is your first time, make sure you give us a follow on all of our social media. It's going to be at Who Are You Pod for everything from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, pretty much everything else, Facebook in general as well. We did just start our YouTube channel a couple weeks back as well. So guys, it is growing. We're super happy to have all the followers that we currently do have. But if you guys have listened to a podcast or watched one, make sure you give us a subscribe. Helps the podcast get seen by more people, all that good stuff. Give us a 5-star review and all those good things. Also, if you guys know anybody who has a story that needs to be told, whether it's a restaurant owner, a clothing brand, entrepreneur just in general, and you feel like they'd be a good fit for the show, feel free to give them our information. It's going to be at Who Are You Pod, and it's going to be whoareyoupod@yahoo.com, and maybe we'll have you guys on a future episode. But today, I'm sitting down with a very, very special guest. Me and this gentleman have conversed a little bit back and forth online. I actually told him we had to wait a little bit because I wanted to get him on here when we actually had the YouTube channel started. But today I'm sitting down with Edwin Lopez, the founder of Bold Forever clothing brand. Shout out to you and thank you for coming on the show today.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Hell yeah, man. So before we get started, please let everybody know where they can find any of your social media, obviously your website, all that good stuff.
Okay, so right now I primarily operate on Instagram, but you can find us at boldforever_, and my website is actually closed right now. So, but when it is open, it's at www.beforeourlastdays.com. And that is what BOLD stands for, of course.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, like I said, man, thank you for coming and sitting down with me today. You're a man of many talents from what I've seen so far. Obviously, we were talking about your clothing brand. You're in the military as well, and you're going back to school and a father, man. I mean, just the list of things that you are, it's an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, man. It's definitely challenging, but you know, like we talked about earlier, doing the easy things in the most difficult way make the difficult things more easy.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, man. I'm going to have you move that microphone just a little bit closer to your mouth just so we can, perfect. Okay. Right Sweet. There, perfect. But like I said, man, thank you for coming down today. And for people who don't know, this man drove all the way down from fucking Georgia to come see me, which, like I said, I appreciate it. You know, anybody who's willing to come sit down and have a conversation with me, always happy to have someone. So we're going to get into your backstory a little bit, learn about your life a little bit, and then we're going to get into your actual business and how everything started. So the first thing I want to know is, where are you originally from?
So I was born in Puerto Rico. And my mom and dad, you know, the same old regular story. You know, they split. We moved to New Jersey, and around when I was like 3 years old, maybe, something like that. And then my mom met my stepdad. And then from there, I moved from New Jersey around the time I was maybe like 6 or 5. My dad joined the Navy, so I'm a Navy brat. And I actually moved to Jacksonville.
Really?
So I've spent most of my life in Jacksonville, primarily.
How old were you when you came to Jacksonville? Do you remember?
Probably around like 6 or 7.
Okay, so you were here for a while. Okay.
Yeah, probably like started like kindergarten or first grade here, some shit like that. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. And are you and your family still pretty close? I know obviously getting older and you being in the military, moving around a little bit. Are you guys still generally close in general?
Yeah. Every time I come home, dude, like I always spend time with my family. You know, we go 4-wheeling, fucking all that shit.
Hell yeah, man.
My parents, dude, they love to fucking party. So like, every time we come home, it's always like a party. But yeah, I've been to Jacksonville, and I lived in San Diego. So I lived in San Diego for like about 10 years maybe of my life. Yeah, so we lived in Jacksonville for 3 years and moved to San Diego for about 10 years, or maybe a little less than that. My numbers are probably off, but whatever. And then we moved back to Jacksonville, spent all my high school time in Jacksonville. And then, basically started my life in Jacksonville as far as, like, you know, adulting and shit like that, you know?
Hell yeah, man. That's absolutely solid. And it's cool that you've been in so many different places and everything. I would say for me, I have a similar story as well growing up. Parents divorced when I was 5. My family's all, like, we're all still, you know, cool. Everybody knows each other. We all live within a mile of each other, to be honest, right now. Mm-hmm. My mom met my stepfather. He's in the Navy as well. He's originally from New Hampshire, but came to Jacksonville as well in the Navy. He was a sonar tech. And then they ended up just playing roots here, had my little brother, and we've been here ever since. But you brought up moving over to Jersey. What part of Jersey were you guys in? Do you remember?
Yeah, Jersey City.
Oh, Jersey City? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole family lives up in, so my mom's side lives up in a place called Bedford, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's about an hour or two away from Pittsburgh. And then my dad grew up in Cherry Hill, around Cherry Hill, New Jersey, near the mall and everything over there.
Yeah.
And then they moved down here, following their jobs, doing all that kind of stuff. And then they ended up splitting up. But no, that's really cool. And obviously with you being in the military, did you like what you saw from your stepdad and like kind of want to follow in those footsteps? Obviously you chose a different branch of the military. So what kind of pushed you in that direction?
Honestly, so I come from a big military family. My grandpa served in Vietnam.
Damn.
My mom's uncles, also the same. And mainly for me, what got me to go into the military was I dropped out of high school and I went to this youth program that was in Florida. It's in Stark. And
out in the sticks. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So it's like a military ran kind of program, and I did really good there. I just had no sort of discipline or guidance in a way. Like I was just a wild child in high school. Like I was just fucking crazy. And I went to that, and it gave me a sense of purpose in a way. And I actually tried to join in 2012, but it just didn't work out. So what made me really want to join was I had my daughter, which, I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna be a dad and just do what I got to do. But really, when I had my son, that's when it was like, okay, yeah, I need to go to the military. I need to get the fuck out of Jacksonville because I was just doing too much out here.
Yeah.
I knew too much people, and I was just involved in too much shit that just wasn't beneficial for me being a father.
No, I totally understand, man. Here in Jacksonville, obviously there's so many different pockets of Jacksonville that you can go to. If you want to go have a little bit more fun in the streets, you can go to a different part of Jacksonville and go do your thing. And, I feel like a lot of young men try that when they're young. Some people think they're thugs, or some people think that they're this and that. Yeah. And then, a homie dies or something weird happens, and you're like, I don't know if I'm really about this lifestyle, or like what you said, becoming a father. You knew you had more to take care of than just yourself.
Exactly, man. And just like being out in the streets drinking all day with my friends and just like putting my friends over my family, it was just like, okay, like let me get the fuck out, and really just a change of scenery, man. I believe that everybody should see the world as much as they can.
Oh yeah.
And even if it's going to like fucking Georgia, wherever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wherever it is, it may be, like, see something else besides Jacksonville, because, like, to be honest, dude, even in high school, I knew people that never went to Jacksonville Beach. And this is, like, no fucking cap, like, no lie.
It's
never
wild.
been to the beach.
It's wild to think about that, like, because Jacksonville is so freaking big, man.
Yeah.
Isn't it one of the biggest cities in the whole if not the biggest city in the United States, like when it comes to landmass wise? It takes probably 30, 40 minutes to really go from one side of town to the other. So I can definitely see how that is a thing.
Yeah, anytime I'm back in Jacksonville, I'm like, fuck, dude, I gotta drive to the fucking west side or the north side. So it's always, because everywhere that I've been after Jacksonville, it's been like, pretty decent drives to get like where I need to be, but like, going to my mother-in-law's is like fucking 40 minutes away, and it's like, damn, you're in the same fucking city as me. What the fuck?
No, I totally understand that, man. So you said you have 2 kids and everything. I'm guessing your daughter is the oldest, right?
Yep.
How old were you when you found out you were going to become a father?
Dude, oh man, I was like 24, 23.
Dang, man. So that's a young parent right there. That's like a year or two younger than me. And what was that situation like whenever you found out that you were going to be a dad?
Honestly, I took it in a good way, man. Like, I had just got off work. My girlfriend, my wife at the time, or my girlfriend at the time, wife now, she picked me up, and she was just smiling like the whole time. And I was like, like, what are you so happy about? And then, when we get to the house, she tells me like, yo, I'm pregnant. And I was like, wow. So funny story. Okay, so like a couple months before that, when I actually started the brand, the day that I started the brand, I looked at myself in the mirror, and that day I was, I was just doing a whole bunch of shit, and I was like, damn, dude, like, you may never have kids, or, like the way you're living is just so fucking crazy. You might just die in the stupidest way.
Yeah.
And like, you're never going to have kids. You're never going to have nothing to leave behind. So I created Bold. And 6 months later, God blessed me with, a beautiful daughter.
That's cool, man. And I know that's probably a very scary situation. Obviously, you know, you go from just you and your girlfriend at the time, now wife, you know, taking care of each other, getting bills paid, doing what you really need to do, and having the ability to go do whatever you want, whenever you want. And then you hear that you have a child coming, you're like, oh, I gotta provide, you know, I gotta do something to make sure this baby, you know, stays alive, and, you know, trying to give them the best life that they possibly can and everything.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, that didn't even go through my mind. I literally just, you know, took it to the chin and was like, okay, like, you know, let's do this, you know?
Nice. Yes. Yeah. So walk me through, I always ask about the military because obviously I'm not a military man myself, and I always find it interesting on the whole process of it. Right. So walk me through the first day of boot camp. You get there, you get off the bus, and I've heard it's not a fun experience. They're getting in your face and say, get out and let's get going. So
the first day, man, okay, so I shipped out April 17th, 2019. And so I fly to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta we take the bus to Columbus. And the first thing I remember was just the drill sergeants like coming on the fucking bus screaming, get the fuck off the bus, blah, blah, blah. And that was like the last text message I sent to my wife. I was like, I gotta go. Oh. And it's just a picture of the drill sergeant like fucking
she's probably like, oh no.
Yeah. So honestly, like, it was a little bit of a culture shock. I got there pretty late. I got there at about 1 in the morning, and I didn't go to sleep until like 4, maybe 5, then woke back up at 6. So, like, it doesn't matter, like, when you get there. You're on a fucking timeline, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was weird, but at the same time, like, I was used to it, you know what I mean? Because I went to that program. Gotcha,
that's right. We were talking a little bit about that before the pod started. So you were used to kind of the military lifestyle of, getting up early and doing what you're told, and, I know things have to be in a specific order. Obviously, like, everything is... I'm trying to think of the word uniform, I guess is more what it is. Like you and your bunk mates, everything has to be somewhat similar, right? Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. So let's go through the actual training part. First day out in the field, and are they just killing you guys the whole time?
I'd have to think. Okay, first time we went to the field was probably like when we went to the ranges, and that was pretty chill.
Have you ever shot a gun before that time?
Honestly, no.
Okay, I was saying that would be something for me. Like I've shot a gun before, but I've never held an actual rifle, and going through the specs and sighting it in and everything. Yeah. So I'm sure that would be an interesting concept. Did you have to go through the gas chambers or anything like that?
Yeah, gas chamber fucking sucks.
That looks like pure hell, man. When people are like, "This is me" before I go in. I've seen like TikToks and Instagram, and then they walk out, snot stripping out of their nose. They're crying, like people are screaming from the situation. What was your experience like through that?
Dude, honestly, like I had a great time. Like, to be honest, as fucked up as that sounds, like it was more so like just the experience, because it was something different. It was something really different, and at that time, like that's what I was seeking. Like I was so used to the same shit that it was like, yes, this is something new. You know what I'm saying? And
got you out of a situation that you weren't excited to be in, or maybe you were, but you wanted something different, like you said, go on, see adventure, and obviously go travel the world and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it was honestly, I can't like really dial in like how I felt that very moment.
I can understand.
But they made us say like a creed in there, and I just remember like I'm trying to say it, and like 5 seconds in, I'm like fucking coughing and shit. So. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Was there ever a moment where you thought you would break and you were not going to be able to go through the whole training?
No, never.
That's badass, dude. Yeah. To be honest, man, like I played sports my whole life and everything, and worked out to death. But just seeing what you guys go through, and obviously, all I see is on the internet. I don't know what the true exact thing is when the cameras aren't there. What they're doing to you when you're not there, kind of thing.
It's not as bad as everybody makes it seem, man. As long as you don't go in there with like an ego, just fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna do well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I actually, when I went in, I was so unfit. It's not even funny. But I got like I looked at myself as the weak link, so I put in the most work. Like everybody would be sleeping, and I'd be doing push-ups and sit-ups and shit, just because like I wanted to be, up there with the best.
Yeah, doing the extra work.
Exactly. And, I didn't feel like I would succeed. So I was like, man, I got to put in fucking extra credit.
Mm-hmm.
So I did, and I did very well. I actually got offered an airborne contract when I was in there. And honestly, like, prior to me going into the military, I was afraid of heights. Like, extremely afraid of heights.
So so for someone like me who is not in the military, what does an airborne contract mean?
So it's where you go be a paratrooper and then you jump out of planes.
That's some wild shit, man. Shannon's been trying to get me to go not parachuting, skydiving for years. I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. I'm not even afraid of heights. It's more of just jumping out of a plane and thinking that someone packed that backpack. And obviously I know they're professional and they know what they're doing and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just more in the back of my mind of that one chance, that 1% chance that thing does not open or it tangles up and everything. In my luck, I'm the one who hits the ground. And no, that's crazy, man. So sorry, continue with your story. So you said you had that contract offered to you. You were scared of heights, and then what was else?
Yeah, and I went to airborne school. It was pretty fun. Honestly, I'm really happy that I did because I met some of the best people. I got to experience some of the best of the Army, and it was just a fun time. And that was me challenging myself to be uncomfortable because if I would have went to Kentucky, where I was supposed to go to first, that would have just been me taking the bare minimum out of the Army. But since I took that airborne contract, it was like I got to be around like-minded people that wanted better, because not everybody comes into the Army with obviously that opportunity. And if they do, that's somebody that's willing to go like a little bit of an extra mile. You know what I mean? It's, it's nothing extreme. It's not like you're fucking special forces or anything like that. But you're willing to do a little more than your peers who are just like regular Army.
I totally understand, man. Like I said, I know you waved it off when I said that we appreciate your service, man. We've talked to a bunch of veterans on here, and like I said, I always think it's badass to meet someone who is willing to go fight for our country and put themselves in the line of battle if needed. And for someone like me, I was never on that wavelength. I always thought of what if and everything, but we do respect and appreciate your service and everything.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. So I got one last question about the military, and then I'll leave your service alone. What was your proudest, or what has been your proudest moment of being in the military? Obviously, you just said you hit your 5-year mark, which congrats on that. You said you hit that yesterday. That's badass. Good for you. But what would you say would be your proudest moment in your military service?
Honestly, there's a bunch of them, dude. But if I can go back and just think, let me see.
Take your time.
Honestly, it'd probably be Afghanistan.
You went to Afghanistan?
Yes.
Holy shit.
And we went during the fall of Afghanistan. And I can say that's my proudest moment because, dude, me and my fucking boys, man, like, that's something that we will always, like, cherish. That was the last deployment to Afghanistan ever. And then, honestly, like, that was the first time that my unit, like, got spun up since, like, Panama or some shit like that to, like, literally get up and go. Like, I was on my way to the grocery store, and the Army calls, like, the fucking DOD, and they're like, yo, like, get to your fucking base, go fucking bring your bags in, and then, like, the next day, we're on our way to Afghanistan.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah. That's crazy. That's
when the Taliban took over.
Holy shit, man.
Honestly, and I say that's my proudest moment because that's, it's a part of history, and honestly, it's something that I'll always look back at, and, I'll be happy that I was there. It was a fucked up time, but at the end of the day, like, that's the good thing about the military. You meet people and you go through all these hardships, and, you look back on it, like, at that time, it fucking sucks, right? But you look back on it, and, it was just like it's a great memory. I don't know what it is about it, but there's something about that hardship that you look back on, and you're just proud you went through it,
Hey, man, I respect that 100%. That's a crazy call to get on the way to the grocery store.
Yeah, dude, my wife is so pissed.
Oh, I can understand. That
was the second time that happened.
Ooh.
The first time it wasn't like a actual deployment. We were supposed to, like, respond to Iran when they were, like, fucking with our embassy or whatever. But like, we, that ended up de-escalating, and we chilled in Kuwait for like 5 months. And I don't know if you know where Kuwait is, but it's super chill. Like,
I'm trying to think.
It's like the desert, dude. It looks like you're in some fucking planet in Star Wars.
Oh, really? Like you're on Mars, it's just sand and everything.
Just sand, yeah. But we did a lot of cool training out there, and that was like when I first joined the Army. So like that was scary for me because I'm like, damn, I just got in the Army like 3 months ago, and I'm already deploying and fucking.
They said, "Put me in, coach." Say it's time to go.
So, but honestly, like after like the first month there, it was like, oh, you know, like we were just training and stuff like that, and it ended up being super chill.
Oh yeah, man. I have a similar story, not obviously with me not being in the military, but my stepfather, when 9/11 happened, he was in the military and everything, and they called, he got that call. They said, pack your bags and be ready. You know, if we need to deploy you, we will deploy you like whatever time. And he remembers, he told me the story, and it was always a very somber moment that he told me. He was sitting there watching the news and watching the World Trade Centers fall, and he was sitting there with his go bag ready to go. And I was like, I just can't imagine getting that call after seeing something on TV that, you know, was never happened before, an attack that never happened on U.S. soil, and being ready to go out there and, you know, go rain hell on our enemies. That's some wild shit, man.
Yeah, man. I was in Jacksonville when that happened, and my aunt was still in Jersey City, which in Jersey City, like back in the day, you could see the Twin Towers from at this park. I want to say it's Liberty Park, some shit like that. Mm-hmm. But you know, you could see like you could see all of New York. Like me and my mom actually used to like fucking damn near walk to New York City. Like we used to. It wasn't like a crazy walk. Like we'd take a taxi and be there in like 5 minutes and walk around the whole fucking, you know what I'm saying, city. But no, man, yeah, that shit was pretty fucked. But honestly, like, there's like a narrative, right, on the Middle East, and I want everybody to know that, like, I respect everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even the fucking enemy, like, people are people. Like, no matter what you believe in or what you think, whatever. Like, people are people. End of the day. You know, obviously there's good ones and there's bad ones, and you know, it just is what it is. I just did what I had to do for, you know, for my family, and I enjoyed it.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. And I appreciate the fact that you brought up, you know, we're all just people. That's something I'm really big about as well. Like that's something that my stepfather, who tried to get me to go to the military and everything, I'm a little weird on just, you know, going to another country and everything. And obviously we have enemies. There's people who are trying to attack our soil, and, you know, if it's us, we're going to choose us over them any day of the week kind of thing. Yeah. But it was always the killing of people, because I'm obviously what we're doing right now is me learning people's stories, learning your story, getting to know your background. I'm very big on all those kinds of things. It doesn't matter what color your skin is, what religion you believe in, if you're gay or straight, like that, none of that stuff matters to me. If you're a cool person or a good person in general, that's what I'm interested in. Right. And that's something I've always tried to put out here on the podcast and also I'm cognizant about having every kind of person on the podcast, because I would never want anybody to think that they're not welcome because of, you know, an ethnicity or their religion or anything like that, because that's all shit that you see on the news and, you know, propaganda you see online, man. It's just like, I feel like they're trying to pull us apart, when if we actually all sat down and had a conversation, we'd probably be more alike than we are different. Obviously, there's going to be things that you disagree with that maybe I agree with, and that's just people. You know, we're allowed to have the disagreements. We're allowed to have these difference in opinions, and that's what makes us human beings.
That's the new, so for people out there that might not know, but that's the new stage of war that we're in. You know, it's a very propaganda-led, you know, agenda. And, you know, I don't want to get too political.
You're good.
I honestly don't give a fuck about politics.
Same.
Like, but, you know, it's easy to see, so.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, that's why with me, like, I see stuff on the news, I'm just like, okay. And then you look into it a little bit, and the story's completely different. That's the way I look at things. Like, when someone sends me an article, and I read it, and I can tell that they didn't read the whole thing, I'm like, come on, man, do a little more research. Like, I know you saw an article, and it freaked you out a little bit, but just get more into it kind of thing. And bring up, like, people from the Middle East. With what I do for a job, I do pest control. So I go around and I take care of people's homes, you know, whether it's like treating for bugs outside. I do commercial work as well. And I told this story a couple weeks on the podcast, but I think this is something that's goes with what we're talking about right now. I went and treated a house, and I met the family. You know, with me, I'm very much a talker. If I'm in your home, you know, most times who's home during the day? Women. So I usually try to be, you know, nice, have a conversation while I'm going to do stuff. I'm 6'5", so, you know, big guys in your house could feel a little awkward kind of thing. So I just try to, you know, how's your day going? Blah, 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 blah. And I go into the home, and it was a very nice family from Jordan. the country of Jordan. And I was walking around, I did my treatment, everything was great. And they ended up asking me to sit down for a cup of tea after my work was done. And the first thing in my head was, I don't know. I mean, there's someone asked, like, I usually don't take food from people or drinks from people, just out of self-preservation, because you just never know if there's crazy people or anything like that. And that first flashed across my mind. And then I took a second and I was like, this could be a new experience. They've been nothing but nice to you. What is the problem with sitting down and having a conversation with them, and they're offering you a cup of tea? They're very traditional as well. The woman, the woman of the house, she made the cup of tea. She did her things. The men do their things. And I was trying to be respectful the whole time. I don't want to step on someone's toes from me being ignorant of what their religion is, or the right way to say things, or if I'm okay to talk to the female. But we ended up sitting down having a cup of tea, man, and they asked me what my opinions were of or what I see on the news, and if I asked them, I was like, is that propaganda, or what's it really like in Jordan and those countries over there? And I got to ask them their opinion on what it was in the U.S. before they moved here. The father, he is a architect, so he builds buildings. He went to school in UC Berkeley in California. He went to school in the U.K., and then they ended up moving here. And it was really interesting to sit down and talk with people from all the way across the world and see what their beliefs are and what they thought the United States was before they came here. And I found that to be a very enriching moment and helps me paint a better picture of how people are and get to know more.
Honestly, Afghanistan is fucking beautiful. Honestly, it'd probably be one of the most beautiful places on this earth if it wasn't for
war-torn country a little bit. Yeah.
So, and it just is what it is. It's still beautiful. We have the courage and heart to go out there for sure. Good vacation spot in a way. The mountains are really beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And the culture is rich.
That's the thing I find cool. With me and Shannon, I've said this a bunch of times on the pod as well, is me and her don't spend money on flashy clothes or driving crazy cars or anything like that. Yeah. We're more big into the travel side of things. Where me and her got engaged, I was in Colorado. I dropped down on one knee on top of a mountain right behind Red Rocks in Colorado. And then we've also been to Mexico together. We've been to the Bahamas. We've been to the Cayman Islands. Just getting that travel in. And I love seeing different cultures, and it helps me.
It unlocks a new part in your heart.
It does.
I swear to God. Because it's dude, when you see that there's more to the fucking world, it's just whoa. And then even, like you said, the architecture in different fucking countries is insane. We actually just moved back from Italy, and Italy was, honestly, I hated it while I was there just because I was so far. And I was on different schedules, and Italians are actually assholes. They really are.
That's hilarious.
But honestly, I've met some cool Italians. Shout out Zucca Skate Park. Those dudes are the homies. Shout out. But dude, I don't know. It was just that first year, breaking in. I was just man, I wish I was back in North Carolina. But honestly, dude, Italy's fucking the shit.
I bet it is, man. For
it's
me,
beautiful, bro.
That's where we want to go on our honeymoon, is Europe in general. Just go whether you can ride the train, go through all the different countries.
You guys go to Rome first.
Okay.
Don't go to Venice. Venice is overrated. I lived 30 minutes away from Venice, and me and my wife would go on dates there all the time. And it was always fucking packed. And you can literally walk Venice in 2 days. Gotcha. Not even 2 days, that one day.
Oh, yeah. And I would just, as you said, the architecture and just the history behind everything. Yeah. I love going and seeing places where there was someone thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, we're standing in the same spot you're in. Yeah. And it kind of makes you think about you're a small blip in the time.
And what's crazy about, I was talking to a friend, what's crazy about America is, dude, it's not that old.
Not at all.
To these other countries.
What are we, 200 and some years old? 300? My bad on the history lesson here, but
I don't know exactly. I'm pretty fucked up on that, but dude, yeah, we're not. I know we're not thousands of years fucking old. So I think that's pretty fucking wild to think of.
No, it totally is, and that's the thing where you see today where people are looking back at how things used to be, and then they try to apply it to what it is today. I'm two different things. Yeah, two completely different things. The ideas back then to what they are now. There's been so much that has changed. Technology, just us being able to, I can send you a text message and you can be over and, like you said, a complete other side of the world, and we can still communicate. Yeah. And what I was thinking about whenever you said about traveling and things like that to help broaden your horizons.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about the guy that you were talking about originally that, he never went to Jack's Beach. And you can only have so much experience there if you haven't been to other places, and it helps broaden your variety of like what you think the world actually is and seeing different places.
Even like just go to Orlando. Like, Orlando's fucking dope.
Oh no, I totally agree. So just to get into a little bit more of your life, what are, obviously outside of your brand and in the military, what is something that you're interested in or like hobbies that you like to do?
So I like to skateboard. I like playing around with my kids and that kind of shit, like just decompressing.
Well, do you have a favorite like board brand or anything like that, or maybe when you were growing up? Yeah,
my favorite board brand growing up was probably Death Wish.
Oh hell yeah, man!
And then nowadays it's Bold.
Bold, of course. I'll say why not. No, for me, like I grew up skateboarding as well. Like that was my first like transportation was skateboarding. Right. Me and my boys would go up and down, Kernan, Atlantic, all over the place, and that's how we got to different places in Jack's. Oh, yeah. I was a big Plan B fan. I was a huge fan of those boards for a little while.
I like Plan B.
Yeah,
Plan B was pretty good.
They always had cool designs and everything, and obviously the Girl was a big one as well. Yeah. The penny and nickel boards. Those are things I grew up riding around. My feet are too big for the nickel boards. They're the size of the nickel board, so or not the nickel, the actual penny. Yeah. And then I just started riding the nickel boards and everything. And I got a funny story for you for skateboarding. So the reason why I don't skateboard anymore is because I got hurt too many times. And Kona Skate Park here in Jacksonville, obviously historic, one of the like in the original Tony Hawk skater games and everything. I was riding down, the snake, the main snake, and it drops down into a pool. Mm-hmm. I was riding my nickel board, and as I was riding down there, it dropped into the pool, and as I did that, my back foot slipped off the back, and I did a split. This is the first 10 minutes that me and my boys are there. First 10 minutes. And I ripped or pulled one of the two. I like destroyed both my quads. My muscles were dead. Like I had to get my boys to help me pull me out of the pool. And I sat in the house that you go in to pay and like the skate shop part and everything. I sat there for 3 hours while my boys were skating around the rest of the time, and I was just dead. But like those are funny moments I remember. Like I got scars, all kinds of other stuff on my hands and my knees and my elbows just from skateboarding around. But I have fond memories, but that was a little bit of a painful one for me.
Yeah, man, skateboarding will teach you really quick, like
concrete always wins.
Exactly. Like I think skateboarding for just any person, it teaches you to be consistent, and it teaches you to be relentless. Like in times like that when you really fuck yourself up, like, and you get back up and you try that trick again, or you try to go down that snake again, it's like, that shit really builds character, and it really builds a lot of heart inside of you. But sometimes, like, obviously, you take those slams and it's too fucking hard.
Oh, yeah, man.
You just can't do it no more.
It hurts, man. Like you said, especially we're not old yet, but we're getting there.
Dude, nowadays, I go skate, and it's just like, fuck, my lower back be hurting. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm old.
Speaking of skate parks and everything, did you see that they have some new skate parks getting put in now? There's like one under one of the bridge, like the art. I think it's the art park, or is what I think it's called.
That is sick. Where was that when I was living in Riverside?
That's what I'm saying, dude. They're adding so much cool stuff to Jacksonville now, and it's cool to see that they're making it more for the skateboarders and other people who are interested in that. Because I'm sure you remember when you were young, they would shoo you away if you were skateboarding in front of a store or anything.
Yeah, for the creatives, man, Jacksonville's starting to be a really creative driven city. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool, man.
That's what we've been saying. I'm excited to see everything get bigger and bigger, because whenever I was younger, collaboration wasn't a thing. Yeah. People wanted everything to themselves. Mm-hmm. They wanted to grow their brand and everything. And I totally understand, man. Like, I know you, like, especially like you or other people, you're trying to grow your business. That's the main thing. Mm-hmm. But I find, at least in my personal opinion, you can help grow your business a lot quicker with working with people.
Exactly. For sure.
Yeah. Collaborating, showing your brand off with other, I've had artists on here, like we were talking about, John. Oh, John, dude. And John as well. So you guys have corresponded back and forth a little bit on social media. Yep. And then we were talking about Safe House and all these people who are trying to bring people together. Right. And that's my favorite thing that's going on in Jacksonville right now. You can go around, you can say, hey, this is what I do, and they could be a singer, or they could be, like you said, an artist, clothing brand and everything, and now everybody wants to work together to help. It's a handshake deal, but also you can we're like the next generation up. You don't know where people are going to end up or where they could help you out in the future and everything as well.
Exactly. No, man, I totally agree. I think it's super cool. And that's what I've been focused on. I'm not really stingy with my business. I guess I am, in a sense of, I'm not just going to collaborate with anybody, especially like if the relationship is just fake. But, you know, I'm super open to collaborating with people, you know, because mainly graphic design for me, as I mentioned earlier, like I go to school for it. I have fun with it. Like graphic design is fun. And when it's not fun, I just don't do it.
Yeah,
that goes into collaborations too. You know, if it's not fun, like I'm just not going to do it.
The only time I have an issue like with collaborations, or no, I enjoy collaborations all the time. There's times where I've had people on the pod and they're like, yeah, I'll collaborate with you on Instagram, do all this other stuff. I send the collaboration. They don't answer. They don't even like the post and everything. I'm like, guys, or girls, like, what did I do? What did we do? Like, it takes time for me to make these videos, you know, edit the podcast, put a good product out and everything. And when you don't collaborate, and I'm just like, what were we doing? You know, the way you grow is my followers seeing you, your followers seeing me, and helping, like, you know, push people up kind of thing.
Exactly. And that's mainly like why I picked this podcast, and, you know, why I told you this would be like my first and last time. Just because, like, you know, I like what you guys are doing. It's very non-biased. You guys seem to be fucking with everybody, and, you know, it's pretty cool. You guys aren't picky. And I think, you know, I like to give everybody chances, you know, and I see that in you guys as well. And honestly, like, I don't know. It doesn't take much for me to want to make a graphic for somebody or want to collaborate with somebody, but, you know, like, it just really depends, you know, on the vibe, you know, on what we're doing and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, I totally understand, man. And like I said, like with us, we have people reach out all the time. And it's not that we're, like you said, we're not picky or anything. It's just more of, I want to make sure, like I always ask, like when you reached out to me, I was like, sure. I was like, tell me more about yourself. Right. You know, that's like my main thing. If I go on someone's page and they're just selling drugs and doing all that stuff, I'm like, man, I'm not trying to even be rude. Like, I'm not hating on your hustle in any way, shape, or form, but like, what the fuck are we going to talk about? Yeah. You know, I want to be able to build the story, and with getting to know your background, I feel like it helps people want to either do business with you, collaborate with you, get more involved with you kind of thing. So that's why I like to get your background first before we get into the business piece. I feel like a lot of times people will be more willing to spend money, work with you, do different things with you, rather than just like, oh, here's my clothing brand, or here's my, you know, this is what I do, please buy it, whatever it is kind of thing.
I see a lot of that shit nowadays, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like people... That's like one thing. That's why I said this is like my first and last podcast, because like,
and we're honored to have you.
I want to just let the brand like speak for itself, my work speak for itself, and I don't really care to be like, you know, in the spotlight.
You're good, Shane. You can pass by. Say, I think, did ice or something fall? You want to check inside the fridge real quick?
You know, I feel like there's a lot of people that want to be seen more than their brand.
Nah, I totally understand.
My brand is like my first child. You know what I mean? And it's honestly saved my life, you know, 2 times, you know, for sure. That one time when I told you, like, I looked at myself and just thought I would never be anything. And then the second time, you know, when I was in Germany, like, that's really when I started making it again. So I went on like a 5-year hiatus of just not doing anything that has to do with graphic design. And I started it back here this November that just passed.
Hell yeah, man. And
I've just been like giving it my 100, or like probably like 80%, but you know, I've been trying.
Hey man, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, you're a busy fucking dude. So I totally understand. And like I said, I respect people that have an idea and put it into motion, because there's a lot of people, like even including myself, before I started the podcast, I was doing research for months and doing all this other stuff. I'm like, what do I have to do? What's the name, colors, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if I just keep going, what if, I'm never going to start.
Exactly. There's never a good time to start.
Exactly.
Was like, when I'd be telling like everybody, like, I'm trying to go to Ranger school. I want to go to Ranger school. There's never a good time to go to Ranger school.
Yeah.
You know? You just fucking go. Just go.
Yeah, man. And that's the way I look at things. Like with us, obviously you see everything we have now. Like we built out a studio here a couple months ago, or a month or two ago now. Like we have a camera, lights, and all this stuff. This started with this soundboard and 2 like $30 microphones.
Yeah, man.
And
we start somewhere.
Yeah, and we just started, and like my thing was I didn't want to put like $5-10 grand, because you know equipment's expensive. I'm sure you know with what you do as well. And I was like, let's just start it. see how it goes. You know, maybe people will be interested, maybe they won't be. And like the first year, no one give a fuck, but it's also the first year. You know, you're new. You got to prove yourself to these people and like make people, you know, want to watch your content.
Exactly.
And then we started getting bigger guests and we started having people reach out to us, which made me think, I'm like, oh, this is actually working. And then, you know, I started investing money into it, and so did Shannon. Shannon invested her money, her time, and everything to help me build this and get cameras and, you know, all these microphones and everything. And I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention to where they started, and they're only looking at the future and where they could be. But you got to enjoy the in-between part, you know, that grind. That's what builds you into what you're gonna, that where you want to be.
Exactly.
You know, enjoying that grind and getting there and everything. But let's get to your brand, man. I know we've been getting to know your story and everything, so tell me what I need to know really about your brand. What's the story behind it? How did you come up with the idea for the name and everything in between?
So so Bold was born 24, or sorry, let me backtrack.
Take your time.
Bold was born 24th December 2016. I just said that in fucking military.
Yeah, you're good.
Fucking weird ass reason.
I understood what you were saying when you said it, because she has friends in the military that say the same way.
So like on the 24th, so like Christmas Eve actually, my buddy Doobie came over to my house. I was living in Riverside at the time. And my roommates, they went to go see their family, you know. So, and I was just trying to chill for the day. I was gonna come over Christmas, but anyways, long story short, man, we're tripping on acid, and I go into the bathroom because I'm just like, oh shit, like it's starting to kick in, like I'm feeling weird,
It's getting
like,
aggressive, yeah.
Yeah, and then I go, I look at myself in the mirror, dude, and I was just really bad shape at that time, dude. I'm talking about like 110 pounds, like wet t-shirt.
Skinny, yeah.
Skinny, dude. Just look disgusting. And I look at myself in the mirror, man, and I'm like, dude, like, if you died today, like, what the fuck? You know, what would you give to the world? You know what I mean? And for some reason, so my roommate, he was a graphic designer, really good graphic designer. Shout out to Yurt. You know, he would always make graphics every day.
Shout out.
I went to his computer, started writing Bold, and then like 2 months later, I figured out that Jacksonville was like the bold city of the South.
Yeah.
I saw that like iconic picture. And honestly, I didn't come up with the acronym before our last days until a couple months later. But honestly, like Bold for me was just like, it was a safe place, man. It was something that I was able to, you know, get my feelings out with. Because graphic design, you know, it's a concept to where you can communicate. It's a communicative, you know, idea to where you can communicate ideas to the world, whether it's propaganda, whether it's ideas, whether, you know, it's feelings, whatever. And yeah, man, like honestly, I made music at the time, and the way that I wanted to make music was the opposite of the music that I made. I was really bad at kind of communicating what was on my mind through music. And I felt it was easier to do through graphics. And yeah, man, I was a big consumer at the time as well. And I was like, man, I'm going to make my own clothes. And then people are going to ask about it. And then I'm going to be like, I got it from Bode. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some shit I found online. And honestly, one of the shows that I did where I actually, I sold like 30 or 25 t-shirts, maybe 25. Like, I sold most from that first show.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. That's big, dude. 25, 30 shirts, you know, that would make me feel real good.
Yeah, no, I felt super good. A lot of people had it on in the crowd. A lot of people had it on stage with me. It was a good experience to know that I made something and then people actually wanted it. But it was also like, it just, I don't know, man. I made it with my heart. I didn't make it trying to be cool or like trying to fucking, you know what I'm saying, just be a clothing brand owner. Like, I really put some sort of thought into it. You know, the quality wasn't always there, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's about the thought. The quality comes later.
Yeah, that's like what we were just talking about with like me setting up and everything, man. You start off, just get it going, and then like you said, you learn. I'm sure you find, you know, people that could, not providers, what would you say, like people like you can get blanks from or whatever it is to get the right materials that you're looking for.
Yeah, man.
How did you, like, obviously, so we were talking a little bit before the podcast. When do you feel like this is going to drop? You know, I know you said you did your shows and this is early. So when is the next drop going to happen? Do you know yet?
So I did a mini drop at the Safe House.
Hey.
It was a Goodfellas capsule, and, you know, I have the shirt on. It's sold out. the black and red, and this one's sold out. I still have like 2 white ones, and then I have a couple shirts, but yeah, man, honestly, so I was aiming for this summer, but I really want to do winter. Because, and I say winter because I want to put out the best thing that I can, or the best collection that I can put out. I don't want to just put out any t-shirts, or I don't want to do anything half-assed. Like, I want to be behind a great idea. And, you know, I'm working on a great collaboration with a couple people right now, and you know what I'm saying, like one collab here, one collab that I just dropped with Flowers Under the Bridge, which was pretty cool. I had fun designing that. Another one that's gonna be with, I'm not gonna really say too much about it, but I will say that it's like all just from the ground up. We're not buying blanks, and we're not printing. So I think this is gonna be challenging for me, because it's something I haven't done, but I already know what I want to do, so it's also cool because it's going to come out fucking dope. And yeah, so like that's why I want to aim for winter, because wintertime, I feel like I can, you know, dude, I have fun doing it, and I don't want to just drop clothes.
I totally understand, yeah.
And I don't have to do this for money, you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty like well off, not really well off, but like, dude, like,
you're taken care of, at least for the time being, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I don't have to do it for money. I really don't care for the money or the spotlight. I just have fun doing it, man. And, you know, when you have fun, the vision becomes clear and your intentions become more clear.
No, I totally agree with you, man. And I like you're saying that you put thought behind it. You know, there's people who just throw...
Dude, they'll just throw their shit on.
Yeah, and and these aren't people I'm hating on, by the way. So if you hear me say like the Jaguars, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude,
I like it.
Honestly,
I understand. Like I said, I'm not hating on it because I'm not the one who is putting this stuff out in any way, shape, or form. But there's like 30 clothing brands with different logos for the Jaguars, and I'm a Jags fan. I wear Jaguars clothing and all that stuff. And like I said, not hating on it. But you know, like the. What am I trying to say? Just being different, you know, not putting the same thing out that you saw, oh, I can do that better, or blah, 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 blah. Right. Putting out something that's original. That's the word I was looking for. A little bit more original, and having your own designs and everything like that. It's just, I've seen the same 20 logos with the Jaguars on it and all that stuff. And that's great. You know, I mean, if you're making money off of it and that's what you want to do, hell yeah, do your thing. But I like seeing different stuff come out. Like we've had a couple other clothing brands on here as well, like Scared Money, shout out Scared Money. Let's say Scared Money is fire. We've also had Stay Young Clothing on here, a couple other ones, and like I said, they all do great stuff because it's original, and that's what brought me to them and wanting to reach out and have a conversation. Same with your clothes. Like you hit me up, and I started going through your page. I was like, oh, okay, this is different. And like I saw the bold logo on one of the skateboards and all that stuff, and that got me really interested as well, because I love just seeing someone put something into motion and doing their own thing that's different rather than just following the crowd and seeing something that's, you know, done 10,000 times.
Yeah, man. And not to hate on, you know, people that like to make Jaguars clothes, but it's like, dude, you could go to North Carolina, you're not gonna find a clothing brand that makes fucking Panther clothes. Yeah, you know, so it's like, why do it for the Jags? Like, do it for yourself. Yeah, man. Mainly, like, I feel like when you do things for yourself and your primary interest, and that's why, like, I don't cater to trends. I don't cater to, you know, what people want. I do shit specifically, like, off of my interests or my ideals and, you know, things that I've experienced, you know. Like, I dropped the Goodfellas capsule because, you know, growing up, my stepdad would watch Goodfellas all the time, and I remember just being in the garage or just being in the house, and he had this Goodfellas fucking like canvas like in the fucking house, and then he also had like another one of like all the mobsters and shit on there.
That's fine. I like that.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I just resonated with that fucking movie for some reason. I just like it.
But see, that's what I'm saying is like you're putting a part of your life into your clothing, and like it's art as well. Like with you doing graphic design, I have no idea how to do graphic design. I made my logo and I was happy with it. I was like, I think this looks good. It's different than anything else I've seen. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be okay with this one. But obviously, like that's something else I want to get into as well, to learn a little bit more of the graphics. I would love to make more like different kinds of Who Are You graphics as well, because me and Shannon are actually in the process now wanting to get, shirts made and hats made and everything. And whenever we do get those, I'll send one to you as well. Is like what I want to do is do like a goodie bag after like we do an interview, give a shirt, some stickers, a hat and everything, just to show support, and also just say as a thank you, you know what I mean? And I find it interesting with, like, I've looked through different providers that are here in Jacksonville. It's crazy all the different things they have, whether it's from fabric, your font, the material that you're doing for the actual like screen printing, or if you want to do embroidery and all this other stuff. How do you decide through that whole mess? Was this just a little bit more touch and go, kind of testing things out, or how did you find something or the right provider to get your clothing made the way you want it to be made?
So when I first started the brand, I just went through Malk Jacks. He's a photographer, very well known in the city. His dad owned a print/embroidery shop.
Oh, really?
I may be wrong, yeah. But I directly went to him, and I didn't know what kind of garments I wanted to print on, so I was just like, dude, just print these fucking graphics on a t-shirt, please. And like those weren't the best quality t-shirts. They were I think Port and Company. But it's really just trial and error and research.
Gotcha.
To be honest with you, man, honestly, like, I'm still looking for a t-shirt blank company that I may want to print on, or I may want to just start, sending my ideas out overseas and being like, hey, I need this cut, like, do it this way, but...
And I'm a big, for me, I'm a big beefy tee guy. I like, a little bit of a thicker shirt. I don't want my nipples being like seen through the shirt and all this shit, looking weird and everything. But I've always been a big beefy tee guy. And funny enough, you brought up the promo stuff. My father, whenever I was growing up, I was a young kid. This is when my mom and dad were still together. He actually had his own promotional business. So he made like shirts, hats, pins, pretty much anything you need really when it came to that kind of stuff. And he actually paid for my college through that. Like, oh yeah, dude. He had like some of his clients at the time was like Bacardi, CSX, the train company here in Jacksonville, like these other, like, he was basically, and this was the day before, like, there was Instagram and the internet and everything, or not before the internet. It just wasn't as big as it is now, where you can find people who are in like New York and be like, okay, I want to use you. So he was the local guy in town, man. He used to tell me, man, he would like skip to the mailbox because he's like, I knew there's a fat chick and they're waiting for me and everything. And they were smart enough, and I'm lucky enough that they had the thought for the future for me, and they did a thing called the Florida Prepaid. So my schooling was paid off. They like took my bachelor's degree and everything. So,
good.
Yeah. Oh no. Like I said, shout out to mom and dad, everybody. Like I said, I appreciate it because they gave me an opportunity to not be in student loan debt, and that's one of the biggest things. But yeah, so me and him and Shannon are going to be working together on that. I'm going to try to see if we can get to some of his old connects and kind of do that thing as well.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to put some stuff out, and obviously I'm going to be reaching out to you and also other people as well, just to get some information, because like you guys, you've been doing this for a while. You kind of have but you've been doing this since like 2016, and you've done more steps than I have personally. For someone who's a novice who hasn't even done it, it hasn't even gotten the first run of shirts yet.
I will tell you what, you should check out Bentley. Shout out.
What's Bentley? I'll write it down.
Bentley Printing Company.
Printing Company.
Yeah, they're the best in the city as far as screen printing goes, direct to garment. I don't know their exact minimums, but they're really good, man. They printed some of my shirts, and I'm like, okay, I'm going with Bentley for screen printing.
That's a bet.
Yeah. As far as t-shirts, like, right now I'm not really too focused on that. I'm just focused on really bringing life to the brand, just like what you're doing, just bringing life into the brand. So like that, when it's time to really get after it, you did that research. Okay, I'm gonna use these two shirts. I'm gonna use this kind of embroider, whatever it may be. You brought life to who are you. And then when it's time to bring that Who Are You merch, it's like, okay, people are a part of something now. Yeah, man,
that's the big thing. We wanted to build a community before we started putting stuff out there. And, we're very lucky. Shout out to everybody that follows the podcast. Like, we're very lucky to have people who are interested, including yourself, man. Like I said, every time someone reaches out to me and wants to be on the pod, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm on a track, like I'm doing something correct. And like I said, I appreciate you saying like, this is the only podcast you'll do. I was like, fuck yeah, man. Like that always makes me excited, because it's cool that people trust us to be able to put their story out there, put their brand out there, or whatever they got going on in their life. And we truly enjoy the conversations, and we don't take that for granted. So like I said, man, shout out to you. We always greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So I got two final questions for you. So for the podcast, and like I said, I appreciate your time and driving all the way down from Georgia, man. I know that's a drive. So like I said,
man.
always appreciate. So what is your goal like with this brand? What would make this feel like it's successful to you and, you know, like something that you'd be proud of to get this brand to?
Honestly, just having fun, man. I feel like if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it, like I said before. And I feel like you get the best work done when you're having fun. Like, it's like skateboarding. When I be too stressed about, like, doing something cool, usually not doing something cool. You know what I'm saying? But, like, when you're just fucking having fun, dude, like, the best comes out. And I think, like, that's the biggest thing you can take away from anything. If you have fun, you're going to see the best in it.
Hell yeah. I like that answer. That's solid. And my final question, I ask everybody who's new to the podcast. Actually, I got another question before this one. How did you hear about the Who Are You before you reached out?
John Hawkins, dude. My fucking man. I saw John Hawkins on there, and I was like, man, that's actually, I found, or he followed me that day maybe, and I was like, oh, dude, this guy's cool as shit. And then I saw, like, I'm just going through his shit, like, who is this guy? And I see the podcast, and I'm like, oh, these people seem pretty fucking cool, too. So I was like, all right, like, yeah, I'm going to hit this guy up. Because I've seen, like, multiple podcasts. Obviously, I fuck with Joe's podcast for sure.
Oh, yeah, RAO.
Yeah, but I got to you guys first, and that's okay. But, yeah, man, like, I don't know, man. I was just like, dude, these people seem cool. They seem, legit and non-biased, like I said,
We want to make sure everybody has an opportunity. That's the way we look at it. See, Shannon, we're not talking into a void. We're killing it. But, no, like I said, I appreciate it. I always find it interesting. I mean, like, for me, for a while there, no one was interested in it. I just thought I was talking to a void. No one was checking it out. You know what I mean?
It's like, when I first started Bold Again, it was like, dude, like, I'm questioning myself because I'm like, nobody's reacting to it. Nobody's like, okay, fuck, like, I guess I suck, But, like, I was like, man, fuck that. Like, do it because, like, you sincerely enjoy doing it. Like, I remember I was in Germany just down bad mentally. And I just got off social media. So, like, whenever I would use my phone, I'd go on Photoshop. And I just design on Photoshop on my phone.
Good for you, man. That's a big thing. A lot of people get stuck in the highlight reel of what Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and all that stuff is. And a lot of people don't show the dark side of what you're going through at that moment. They just want to show you what the good stuff has happened. And, like, that's a big thing for us. Like, I talk about depression on here very frequently because, like, mental health is a big thing in my life. Grew up with depression, suicidal thoughts, all that stuff for a long time. And this is like my therapy right here, talking and getting to learn people's stories and, being able to take a piece from your story and put it on myself and be like, oh, maybe this is a different avenue I can look at things, or, or if I can put something out there and someone hears it and makes their day a little bit better, that's like my favorite thing to hear.
And that's why it's like going back to the people like that make Jack's clothing, or just people that make any kind of clothing. Like, dude, if it makes you happy, like, who the fuck am I to, like, be like, dude, why are you doing that? It's like, whatever. Like, I feel like everybody deserves to be happy, especially in such a fucked up, like, world that we live in nowadays. Like, it's pretty insane, dude. It's just getting worse. And it's like,
yeah. No, I totally agree. And like I said, anybody who makes Jaguar shirt, do not get in my comments yelling at me. I was just saying and not hating. I'm not the one doing it. But at the end of the day, like I said, we do appreciate your time. And my final question for you is, do you feel successful? And if you do or you do not, in what ways?
I'm going to say I don't. And I'm going to say I don't because there's always going to be something more. And I realized this through stupid, silly shit like, buying something that I've always wanted. And then, like, 2 weeks later, like, it's just like, whatever, dude. Like, this is what I wanted, And I think it's always, like, just always wanting more, But I think the main goal, the main thing that, I work for is just to be happy, Just to be happy, like, end of the day. I think that's far more resourceful than currency. Like, currency doesn't make you successful, and I think it's all about you just being a happy individual, just enjoying what you have.
I totally agree, man. You can't take money with you, but you can take the memories and the happiness with you. Exactly. So I'm very big on that.
And that's if I could leave y'all with one more thing, that's what Bold is about. It's just reaching your full potential, and and just working towards, just simply being happy, challenging yourself. Those times, those challenging times, they're going to be fucked up, but I guarantee you look back at those fucked up times and you're like, damn, like, okay. It's like, I actually had to sit myself down in Germany and tell myself this. I'm like, okay, there's going to be boring nights where you're working on your brand or you're doing whatever you have to do, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what I'm saying? There's going to be fucking headaches, but that's okay. Because, like, it's like with anything else. You go through that hardship and you look back on that time, and at that time it might not feel super cool. You know what I'm saying? It might not feel like a fun time or whatever, but you look back on that time and you're like, damn, dude, like, I was doing this at this time. I felt like shit at the time, but I put the work in towards something, and it got this kind of result. And honestly, don't look for fucking just results every fucking time. Just do things because you simply want to do it. Whether it's going out to eat by yourself, dude, it's all about the simple things in life. And honestly, like, that's what bold is about, man. Just being uncomfortable and just expanding your horizons. Like, and yeah, that's about it. Like, they're cool t-shirts, cool graphics, and it's a good message behind it. Most of the time, sometimes I'm just going to pull shit out from my youth, nostalgia. I'm really big on nostalgia, and I might put it on the t-shirt, but for the most part, it's all from my mind and it's all from my heart. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy taking those big memories out of my mind and putting them out into the world, whether it's a Goodfellas tee or I'm saying, like, some lyrics that I found that I really liked and I put them on with a picture, whatever it is. Like, it's something that resonated with me, and end of the day, like, that's always what it's gonna be. So if I can leave y'all one more thing, bring out the things that resonate with you and put them out to the world.
Hell yeah. Cheers to that, my man. I would say appreciate you. And everybody, make sure you guys keep an eye out. And like I said, let me know whenever everything drops, man. I'd be more than happy to get a piece from you and everything. And what we're going to be doing here with the podcast soon is we're getting a shelf here. And what we're going to do is we've been lucky enough where people have given us stuff, or I bought products from the people we've had on the podcast. And every single week we're going to switch different things out, to whether it's a shirt or like we have hats and all this other stuff. And we're going to switch it out for all Jacksonville Jacksonville people or people who I've interviewed on the podcast. We'll be switching it out, so there'll always be a piece of people we've had on the past be on the podcast at all times. That's why we have John's painting here, and we're gonna have other stuff up, so I'll definitely be more than happy to get a piece off you whenever.
Hell yeah, dude. I'll actually bring you guys a piece, both of y'all, next weekend.
Hey.
I was in such a rush, dude. Like,
You're
my
good,
day
man.
just consisted with so much shit that honestly, like, I got home, took a nap, woke up, and was like, all right, let's go.
You're good, man. You drove a couple hours to come to me, so I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your time and everything like that today. And make sure you guys go give him a follow. Go check him out and everything. And to tell you about being, so into what you're doing, I have a funny story to leave you with before we get off the podcast.
For sure.
So right here, this Roadcaster here,
Right.
I was talking to Joseph from Safe House. I had his interview saved on here, and I took the SD card, and it fell inside this. I had to take this apart. 50 screws I had to take apart, and not fuck up the board to get that interview, like get the SD card out of there so I could have the interview. So, Joe, if you're listening to this, I hope you know how much I love that interview and the amount of time that took me. Shannon came home, I was pissed off, like ready to throw this thing out the window. I wanted that interview out as much as possible. But like I said, man, you're going to kill it. I wish you nothing but continued growth, man. And like I said, thank you for everything you do, whether it's the military, and shout out to your family and everybody, man. You're going to continue to kill it. And I look forward to seeing your continued growth.
Yeah, man. Me too.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Jefferson. Shout out the Safe House, man. Honestly, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love you, bro.
So before we get out of here, though, please let everybody know where they can find your stuff on social media, your website, and everything like that.
Just look out for Bode on Bode Forever _ on Instagram. I feel like you'll be able to see something new every week with what I do. I try to be consistent. I try to be new. I try not to recycle too much product. And yeah, and just watch the growth, because I'm fully committed to this, and I'm not going anywhere. So
yes, sir. And everything has social media. Whenever something drops, by the way, if you're making a drop, just let me know. So if you have flyers or you have pictures, send it to me, man. I'll put it up on my story and everything. I want to make sure everybody can see whenever you have stuff coming out.
For sure.
Yeah, man. And like I said, all of his social media will be put into the description of this episode, so you guys can click, go check him out, go see all the different stuff he has going on with the brand. But before we get out of here today, please give us a follow on social media as well. You guys don't know how much that follow makes me feel good. Helps the show get seen by more people and everything. So it's going to be at Who Are You Pod on everything: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I keep calling it Twitter, but it's X. And pretty much any kind of social media that you guys could really get to, we are on there. And like I said, it helps the podcast get seen by more people.
Follow them.
Yes, give us the follow. Give us the follow. And also, if you guys know anybody who has a story that needs to be told, whether it's an entrepreneur, an artist, clothing brand, anybody, feel free to shoot me an email to me, whoareyoupod@yahoo.com, or you can hit me up on the social media, and maybe we'll have you guys on a future episode. But as I say every single week, y'all, thank you so much for sitting down with us today, checking out the interview, and we will see you guys next week.
Later.